Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Yeah, this is the poster when I was working for Sony as a distributor for the Doors, which I created the first time Oliver Stone came up to the office showing us a teaser, actually a kind of promo reel he shot before the film was actually shot. Was meant to pick up sales. It showed Jim Morrison, aka Val Kilmer, walking in the corridor towards the light, and at the end he dissolves into the light, and the music starts uh, like My Fire, and you heard like the crowd calling Jim, Jim. I had such goosebumps watching that trailer that I had the vision that this was the art for the film, and we created the poster accordingly. I thought Jim's performance in there was absolutely amazing, impersonating Jim so well that he could actually he sang most of the song, and they are mixed with Jim Morrison's and the Doors music and the soundtrack. And I really thought it would be an absolutely huge hit in France, and we believed it. We put a lot of theaters, screens when we released the film, lots of promotions, and at one stage, Oliver Stone told me, I think we're going to be killed by the reviews in Libération. Actually, he told me, yeah, every film I have released have been destroyed by the Libération, because we had an argument about Platoon, and the editor thought the scenes didn't look real. I said, look, you haven't been there, you haven't fought there, what do you know? And the writer, the journalist, was pissed. So every film was destroyed by the critics from Libération. But I told him, I think for this one you're gonna get a good review, because it was rock and roll, and for many other reasons. And we showed the film to the whole team of Libération. We made a special screening for that, and I remember when they came out, it was kind of all were red-eyed, and it smelled pot in the theater. So I thought they would have been inclined to like the film at least. And when the film came out, the review was, it's a colorful piece of shit. And I was so angry, because when you're a good writer, and they are good writers at Libération, you can't say something like that. You have to be more eloquent, or more, at least to the level of quality of a movie, which was exceptional to the extent that we even booked like 70 millimeter theaters. Anyway, so I was pissed totally. And I decided I wanted revenge. So I came up with this idea that, and I briefed the agency, ad agency accordingly. I said to them, try to find something funny around catchline I'm going to give you to express my anger, that we will post and buying an ad in Libération, so that their readership understands that they're stupid when they criticize the film that way. So my line was, first day opening, 118,000 viewers released, one still constipated, one journalist still constipated, and I was quoting his review. 118,000 was the first day admission figure for France, which was extraordinary, very, very good. And I decided we should make it really funny so that people would laugh and be inclined to not dislike that reviewer. And eventually the agency didn't come up with something great, so I decided not to press on the button and did not buy ads and other things I had planned to do in the theaters, like alerting people. If there's someone in the audience that reads Libération, this is what your writer said and wrote, so feel free to walk out. If you want a payback, we will reimburse your ticket. This was meant really to disregard. Anyway, but I decided not to do it. Still, I had been discussing with Variety, and to be honest, I called them on the Friday, knowing exactly how they operate. So I described the whole campaign, the argument, the bet I had taken with Oliver Stone. I had taken actually a bet saying, you're gonna have a good review in this for this movie. And I called him on the Monday, a few days after I had this long conversation about my plan, and told the Variety journalist, hold on, I'm sorry, we decided not to do this campaign. We decided to be quiet. And he said, oh, come on, Bruno, we published that. What? Yeah, we go to print on Friday evening. So I wrote what you told me. So, and I forgot. A few days later, it's the beginning of Cannes Festival. It's Wednesday, and 9 o'clock in the morning, I come down from my room at the Carlton into the office and see everyone in the office, all the executives from Los Angeles, look at me, hilarious, smiling, and said, what? I said, Bruno, look at this. They showed me the front cover of Variety. And the article from Variety was on front page saying a local distributor fights against critics. And actually, it was a little bit planned. Years later, and also because my bosses at Sony were very smart, they just laughed. Nothing. But actually, I had called them to ask whether I had permission to do so, and say, look, Bruno, it's your country, you know your territory better, do as you like, but I've been in your shoes and I can tell you, you don't win against the media, but if you want to do it, do it. And I did not. A few years later, I'm in a film festival in Portugal, Porto, Fantasporto. Became a regular partner of filmfestivals.com. And a journalist interviewing me, suddenly I kind of speak about the Doors and start telling this story. I say, oh, wow, that's you, because this thing made also the news in the biggest newspaper in Portugal. And I found that the French distributor were very brave doing so, fighting against the reviewers when they feel the critic is not deserved. Well, we laughed, and he laughed, especially when he knew that I had actually not executed the plan that I had designed. So this is a very dear memory for me, because the movie was so exceptional. It's one of the rare movie where we ended up, because it's a great work, teamwork, and with my press attaché and team, we did a great job by getting coverage from the 6 channels, TV channels in France then, and each of them dedicated about an hour about the movie. One of them was even planted a red heat camera in the Père Lachaise, where Jim is buried, to record the strange activities taking place on the grave of Jim. And also the final moment after, actually the day after the opening, I took my whole team in a minibus with a backpack, and in which there was a hidden bottle of champagne and glasses, and they did not know where we were going. And at one stage, when we came in front of the door of the Père Lachaise, we had arranged that they opened the door, and we were able to park right in front of the grave of Jim Morrison. And then I opened the bottle, I popped the champagne, and even shared a little bit with the people that were actually paying homage to Jim and smoking pot on his grave, I guess, because his grave is very busy all the time. Yeah, it was a great moment for me, and I love working on the Oliver Stone film. So Val, rest in peace. You were absolutely amazing in that movie. I've never seen anything like that. By the way, what I found, when you watch the movie, you when you see Val, when you see his face, you see Jim Morrison. Once you've seen the movie, if you've not, and someone like the distributor tells you this is going to be Jim Morrison in this film, you may have doubts. That is the exact reason why I decided that this picture of Val shot from the back would be the poster art. And we did all sorts of things with this silhouette as a logo. We made a deal with Diesel, and they gave us like all sorts of clothes that had this thing embroidered. And anyway, long story, lots of promotion. In those days, you could have fun. Also, like even working on the film. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. More stories from Bruno Chatelin, from his Columbia TriStar film distributor, or UGC Fox distributor, which I launched in France in the 90s, end of the 90s, yes. More then on my channel on YouTube. Thanks for watching.